so much, Anurag, for joining us with the details of that. But let's get on board Ajit Mishra, who's the VP Research Religare Broking, who's joining us now. Hi, Ajit. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us on the technicals. First up, Ajit, let's pick your first stock, which is Bank of India. Tell us what do you see on the charts of Bank of India? Because if I can see the chart today itself, it's doing pretty well. It's up 2%, and in the last 6 months also, it has been outperforming. It's up 10% in the last 6 months. Tell us, do you see this positive momentum to continue, especially from the PSU banking space?
Hi, good afternoon. So yes, in fact, after almost 2 weeks of month-long consolidation, we are eyeing that, especially the banking could trigger the next leg of the up move in the markets. And while the private banking majors are, sitting on a sidelines around their record highs in a very tight range, we are seeing a catch-up move in the PSU pack. The Bank of India, PNB, Canara Bank, all these stocks alongside with SBI is inching gradually higher. After this recent breakout, we expect Bank of India to inch gradually towards 130-35 levels in the near future. So here definitely one can look for fresh long opportunities with stop loss at 115.
All right, so fresh opportunities. A weak set of Q4 numbers specifically. The stock is taking a hit and is down about 6.5% in trade today.
Okay, so that stock lower, not doing well in today's trade, but let's move on. And Ajit, Federal Bank is the stock that you picked out for us on the chart. Last 1 year, the stock gave us gains of more than 20-25%, but ever since then, it's been lackluster for the stock, absolutely flat on the chart. Tell us what are the next levels you're spotting, because last 6 months itself, the stock has taken a 4% knock.
That's right, and in fact, we are anticipating that the banking could lead from here on, and we have list of stocks within the banking basket also, which are low beta in nature. And Federal Bank is one such name that it usually see a very gradual decline during the corrective phase and witnesses a strong and steady up move whenever we see momentum in the banking index. So after almost 2.5 months of consolidation, it looks set for the next level of move. So it's basically a buying opportunity for those who are sitting on the sidelines and want something to be, invest in the banking space, which is less volatile. So like PSUs, we all know that they are very volatile in nature. Somebody who is slightly risk averse can consider Federal Bank at current levels. We believe that 195.98 is a very strong base for Federal Bank now, and once we break this 205 area, probably the stock can inch towards its record highs, means 215 and 220 levels. So it's a good risk to reward, for considering fresh long position in Federal Bank at current levels.
All right, so that's Federal Bank on the chart. But let's move on to the next candidate, an earnings candidate again, Varroc Engineering, that is in focus today on the back of the stock to a hold rating as well. Kotak Institutional maintains its sell call on the stock. So very bearish, very negative brokerage notes coming in. And despite an inline set of numbers, the stock is taking a hit of 2.5% as we speak. All right, so that stock is down in trade today. But coming to your Ajit, Asian Paints is the name that you have picked out for us. Now let's look at the chart for Asian Paints. Even that is down 1.3%. In fact, in the last 6 odd months, also it has given, it hasn't done much for the investors. Do you see further breakdown on this stock, or do you see a reversal coming in on the chart?
Yeah, that's right. In fact, when the markets have recovered very strongly in the last 2 months, we have a handful of stocks which are still struggling, and Asian Paint is one such name that it made an attempt of recovery, but it failed to cross major averages around the daily chart around 2500 mark, and since then we are seeing again a gradual drift. So at current levels, it seems like a fresh shorting opportunity, because the stock might retest its previous swing lows, or maybe lower. So maybe close to around 21.50 is something that the stock might test in the near future. So with stop at 23.10 is something that one can go fresh short in Asian Paints, considering that the market is still in consolidation, and maintaining position on both sides is something which is recommended.
Okay, so that's the strategy coming in on Asian Paints. But on that note, we'll slip into a very short break and bring you more buzz on. But let's move on. And Ajit, Colgate Palmolive. Colgate is the stock that you've picked out for us. Remember when the earnings came, they were rather mixed. And if you take a look at Colgate on the charts as well, let's pull up the charts for Colgate, because last 3 months, only a 0.5% uptick coming in. So what are your next levels that you're spotting for the stock? Because 2477 is what the stock is right now.
Yeah, so basically, if you see that the FMCG as a pack is struggling, if you exclude a couple of names like Marico, Britannia, they are holding strong or maintaining at the higher end after this recent surge. But Colgate Palmolive after this decline below its major averages, we are still not seeing any sign of reversal, and probably close to around 2300, 2340 is something that the stock might test in the near future. So yes, in fact, at current levels also something someone can look to go short with 2520 as a stop loss and 2340 as a position target.
Okay, those are the targets to watch out for on Colgate Palmolive. Let's move on and talk for tuning in. But stay tuned to 18 now because closing trades is up next.